Jason McCoy, the Road Hammers, will be in Kapuskasing as part of Kap Kraze, and we are excited about that next weekend at the Sports Palace grounds. And Jason joins us from his home as he takes time and gets ready to come up north. Jason, welcome, and talk about coming up to Kapuskasing again and how much fun it'll be for the boys to get up and play some great music.
Well, it's going to be fantastic. I mean, just the title of the event is Kap Kraze. It's exactly what it is. Kapuskasing getting a little crazy. Ryan Langdon on the bill. He's one of Ontario's best, and always a pleasure to share the stage with him. But I love the Northern Ontario venues. I love Northern Ontario. You guys are one of the first ones to start playing my music as Jason McCoy. So now to get to bring the band, the Road Hammers, up there, it's kind of full circle, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Talk about some of your band members and where you guys kind of all got together. Was it just a chance meeting, or have you guys kind of known each other all your lives? Or
no, actually, it was I guess about 2004, and I was coming off of an album called Sins, Lies, and Angels with I Feel a Sin coming on, had Still, and all those songs off of it, and I didn't know what to do next as a solo artist. So I was talking to my friend Ted Ellis, who was running CMT. And it was about the time they were doing all these, behind the scenes type shows and reality TV shows. And I said, I kind of wanted to do a trucker tribute record, kind of like Traveling Wilburys. And then that turned into, well, I'd actually like to put together a whole new band. And so we had auditions live on TV. We did 2 seasons of the Road Hammers. And it's just amazing. Like, I mean, I knew of Chris. Chris played in my band a little bit, and Clay was doing his own thing. But we auditioned everybody right on camera, and that's what became the Road Hammers.
Wow, that's simply amazing. What can people expect next Saturday night from the performance at the Sports Palace? We know it's going to be high energy and high tempo.
Well, all the songs that you know and love, Eastbound and Down, I'm a Road Hammer, which kicked it all off for us. And we're celebrating 20 years of that song. So it's pretty amazing, and of the band. So that's pretty cool. Mud, which has become our new anthem. Everybody likes to play in the mud with the Hammers. And then we got some new songs. We got a brand new single called Dirty Hands, Clean Money. And that's kind of an anthem to all the folks who work hard every day, and have a good sleep and a good conscience, and get some dirty hands to show for it. That's one of the most fun songs to play, because not just because it's new, but that's our people. These are our people. We work hard, play hard, and that's the soundtrack to it.
Well, that's amazing. Talk about getting back and writing songs and getting together again. How cool was that to be able to put a group of songs together again?
Well, it's one of those things, like, it's not something we have to get together and do. It's something we're always doing. So we're always coming up with titles, always coming up with melodies or guitar licks and stuff that you're kind of going through the shopping mall of life, and you're throwing these things in your basket and always have them at the ready. And then when it's right, then it all becomes a completed song. It's nice to have, we got 6 songs that are ready to go here. The single Dirty Hands comes out August 28th, but we're doing that. We're doing a song called Till the Wheels Fall Off and a song called Stop the Bleeding in the live show. And they're all going over great. And it's a little nerve wracking, right? Because you got Hammer fans that are used to the classics, and that's what they want to hear. So anything you deliver new has to be, at a certain level. And so that it means a lot to us that people would come out to shows and, listen to our music. So we want to make sure whatever we do now builds on that. And I really think we did it with these songs.
Well, the other day I was mentioning we played Eastbound and Down, and there's nothing better than that song, especially for someone who grew up watching the Smokey and the Bandit trilogy. And when you see the video, I watched the video the other day, and I was so impressed. I was like, hey, this brings me back to my childhood too, and to my teenage years.
Yeah, I remember watching that movie, and I was just astounded. Like, everybody thinks, Burt Reynolds, Black Trans Am, that's the coolest guy on the block. It's like, yeah, okay, I get it. But to me as a kid, I was like, I see, Snowman, Jerry Reed. I was a huge Jerry Reed fan of his music. And then I'm like, this guy's larger than life in this movie. I'm like, are you telling me I can make a living driving a tractor trailer around and have a dog on my, passenger seat, and that's like a career? And I'm like, I'm all in. Like, that is it. And then to get to be able to put together a trucker band and sing all those songs and then do that video with all those toys in it, I kind of felt like I was 12 in the movie again.
Well, one thing about the song Eastbound and Down, there is a second version to that. If you
Yeah.
know the soundtrack and know it, you're gonna try to learn Westbound and Down and have some fun with that, maybe.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we could do a deep cut and test people's knowledge because if you know the movie, you know that's part of the soundtrack, and if you bought the LP, you know it's on the flip side. There's a whole record to me is just genius. And that era of country music, you know, when Jerry Reed was in the room, it was just like lightning in a bottle. Like you had to capture everything because he was just on fire all the time. And I actually had the chance to write with him. It was about 6 to 9 months before he passed away, and we had a writing date set up, and his health took a turn, and we weren't able to do that, unfortunately. But just to meet him would have been, you know, the biggest joy of my life because he taught not, you know, just myself how to play guitar, but a whole generation of. He took guitar and made it three-dimensional. You know, like Chet Atkins was even just the guitar player of guitar players, just could not fathom the feel and the funk and the groove of Jerry Reed, and that just kicked country music into a whole new generation, a whole different direction, and that's kind of part of what's in the DNA of the Roadhammers too.
That's pretty amazing when you think about guys like a Jerry Lewis or Jerry Reed, pardon me, and go, wow. And said he really kind of set the stage for others and kept things going even today.
Yeah, it's amazing that you could learn those songs, but just imagine being the guy who wrote them.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty great there. Now, you've also got involved in radio. I thought that was pretty cool that you start working in radio a little bit. How fun was that to be a part of it? Do you still do a little bit, or is that with the tour and everything else going on with the band, has that become kind of secondary a little bit?
Still do mornings, 5:30 to 10, Pure Country 106. And it's a great joy, man, because I get to spin all these records, all these great new artists, and I get to hear some of the music first. And it's a big treat, as you know. I get to be part of the community, which I really like because you just know what's going on, right? And that to me is a big deal. Being from this neck of the woods, I mean, it's kind of in me. I know, you know, all about the fall fair and the tractor pulls and all that stuff. That's where life happens, right? And it's a big treat to be involved in that.
And we talked about this earlier, but country music since the 90s has just gone into a whole new different direction, especially in Canada. It's amazing, isn't it, where it's headed and where it's going now?
Yeah, I mean, we got artists like Megan Patrick and Josh Ross and, you know, Jade Eagleson. I remember, actually, I knew Jade's uncle. We went on a mission trip to Mexico, and we were building houses like in 2007 or something. He was talking about his young nephew. He said he's just a kid at the time, maybe 8, 9 years old. I don't know. He said, oh, he sings a bit of country music, you know. And here's Jade living in Nashville, setting the world on fire and taking Canadian country to a whole new level. And that's what we're seeing these days. These artists are, you know, it used to be a time when I was a kid, you'd hear radio and you could hear production differences. You go, that one's American and that sounds kind of Canadian. Now it's like these Canadian artists are not just, you know, playing in the big leagues. They're knocking it out of the park. And all these guys in Nashville are looking up north going, what's going on? And it's like, well, you know what? We got to work harder, try harder. We got to go even further to, you know, get into that U.S. market. And it just breeds a stronger artist. And I wholeheartedly believe that the best we have are right here.
And it's amazing how the shows are getting sold so amazingly well. People are coming out to see them, and they're growing. And these artists are quickly becoming household names or becoming stamps of the Canadian country music industry.
Oh yeah, you know, like Josh Ross just sold out, you know, Casino Rama, and it goes on and on. Like we just had, I hosted Dauphin Country Fest, and Megan Patrick, you know, one of the highlights of the weekend, and Josh as well. But it's nice that our artists are, when you go to Nashville, the biggest community is not Texans, it's not Oklahomans, it's Canadians. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the songwriting community there's something about it. The Gordie Sampsons of the world, the Derek Ruttans, James Barker Band. I mean, these people are not just trying to write songs to get on the radio. They're crafting the next level of country song. And it's staggering. It's just absolutely great. And that all started with artists who got down there first, you know, the Terry Clarks, the Paul Brants, the Carolyn Dawn Johnsons. And, you know, they plowed the field. Now all these great crops are coming up.
And you were part of that group back in the 90s. of that group that just started moving and started grooving, yourself, Paul Brandt, George Major, just amazing. Or Charlie Major, rather. You guys were just amazing of where you kind of started things and started kind of kept the ball rolling, or started the ball and started moving from there.
Well, it's been a heck of a career. Like I said, celebrating 20 years with the Road Hammers, it seems like just a blink of an eye. But I started recording in late 80s into the 90s, and my first records came out on vinyl. So think about that. My first records would have gone out to radio on a 45. And a cassette, big technology, and then CDs. Holy smokes. But now we can just email stuff around, and it's a whole different ballgame. But the one thing that hasn't changed and never will is, they talk about AI is going to write all these songs and stuff. No. It comes down to the heartbeat of the song, right? Like you can't take that away. And so no matter what kind of delivery vehicle the song comes in, an LP or a digital, it doesn't matter. It's the heartbeat of the song. The song always wins, and we've got the best writers.
And I just love the name, the Road Hammers. That name just signifies fun and a great time. Like, that name is unique.
Well, yes, it is unique, and I didn't come up with it. I'll tell you the story. It's breaking news. Years ago, before the Road Hammers, I had Born Again in Dixieland on the charts, and I got hired to go to, I think it was Bermuda, of all places, farm kid from Minnesing, playing in Bermuda for a corporate show. And I did the show on the beach and all. It was just amazing. And but we were there for a week. We only had to play one show. We got spoiled. So we rented these little scooters. My wife was with me, bass player, drummer, guitar player. And the guitar player at the time, who's gone on to produce records for most of the songs you hear on radio. He's written a bunch of hits. He plays guitar with Dean Brody. His name's Jason Barry. He nicknamed our little scooter group the Road Hammers. And I was like, I don't know what that is. I don't know where that name came from. But if I ever start a band, I'm going to call it the Road Hammers. And so there you go. Just picture a bunch of goofballs on scooters in Bermuda, zipping around in, shorts and flip-flops. Lucky that we're still alive. But that's where the name came from. So far away from trucking, you couldn't imagine.
Wonderful. So real quick, talk about the life of being on the road and being in front of the fans and the concerts. That's got to be the piece de la resistance, huh? Getting up, meeting the fans, and just getting on stage.
Yeah, I just have done it my whole life. It's one of those things, you'd be doing it whether there was 2 people in the audience or 20,000. It doesn't matter, because it's just in you to perform, right? And the cool part is that I've got this home life that just keeps me grounded. It's the polar opposite. We just did a show with Def Leppard out in Saskatchewan,
Wow.
And kids couldn't care less. They're like, hey, Dad, can you take the garbage out, or whatever the thing is, or can you help me with my whatever? And that's where life is. And I'm so glad to be, able to have both sides. But I'm so appreciative of the fact we get to play music for a living, but so glad I get to kind of leave it out there.
Wonderful, wonderful. Jason, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate we redoing this. You've been an awesome person to spend some time with. Thank you for this. Have yourself a great week, and we look forward to meeting you in person next weekend in Kapuskasing.
Oh, you know what? We are so excited. Like I said, getting up north in Northern Ontario, all the places that are a little out of the way are always worth the drive. And not just for the natural beauty, but it's the people. As Kap Kraze, we're going to bring it. Ryan Langdon, the Road Hammers, is going to be a great time.